I'm gonna be doing a mid-year book tag. Nothing I've ever seen before, and it's just such a good story. I love that, but because I'm sick of the miscommunication trope, the funniest book I've read this year, the whole entire Adaptation series. I'm actually really cold right now, so I think I'm gonna put on a cardigan. Okay, that is much better because it is so cold in my house right now. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Anna, and in today's video I'm gonna be doing a mid-year book tag. I know that the mid-year is almost over. June through August is considered mid-year, so this still applies. A while back I asked you guys to give me your questions on my YouTube community post area, and I have the questions and answers on my notes app right here. Let's just get started with the statistics. My OG reading goal for this year was 40, but I surpassed that, and so I'm currently at 42 books. So my new goal is now 60. I think that's not a bad goal. I think it's, you know, a bit more challenging, but like still achievable. I'm happy with that goal. What really matters to me is that I just read some good books, and that's all that matters. Let's just start off with the first question. Authors you love. Two of my main authors would have to be Abby Jimenez and Sarah J. Maas. First, Abby Jimenez. I just think she knows how to balance out really well. Like, she knows how to add a lot of emotional depth and character into her characters. Like, her characters aren't surface level, her characters dig deep. Like, we really see their struggles and what they go through, and it just feels like you're there with them when you're reading the books. You can kind of like feel their struggles through the pages. I just love being able to relate to a character. Yours Truly is like my absolute favorite books of her because it's just a raw and genuine representation of anxiety, and like I've never read a book with such a good representation for anxiety, so I love that. But she also has a rom-com-y side that she does very well. Like, her books are very funny, the romance is really good. She just knows how to balance all of those things out in her book, and they just execute really well in my opinion. Now my second favorite author would have to be Sarah J. Maas, but I loved the ACOTAR series, and I'm currently on Throne of Glass series, and I'm really enjoying that. I just love her writing. It's not super hard to understand for a fantasy. I love her characters. Like, she does found family really well in the ACOTAR series, and just like I really like the world in the ACOTAR series. And then also for the Throne of Glass, I have not finished it yet, but the writing's really good. Like, it's, I don't know if it's a YA series, but it's not an adult series. I think it's a YA, so the writing is really good. The characters, obviously the female main character in Throne of Glass, is absolutely amazing. She is just that girl, and I'm so excited to continue the series, but like I'm also really scared because I've been flying through the books. So yeah, longest read this year so far. All right, that's, I was just talking about this series, but that would be A Court of Silver Flames. I always mix up these names, but not including the acknowledgements. This book is 751 pages. Yes, 751 pages. This was a chunky book. This is not going to be in order, but I do have quite a few. Starting off with One Golden Summer. This was a 6-star read. Their relationship is just such, like, it's so refreshing to see because there is no miscommunication. Maybe a little bit towards the end, but like in every romance book there has to be one of those, but like other than that there is none. They just know how to talk to each other and communicate things to each other. Like, they do that so well, and it's so refreshing to see because I'm sick of the miscommunication trope. There is not a trope that I hate more than that. Because if I'm reading a romance book, I don't want to have to like be banging my head against the wall because these two characters just don't know how to talk to each other and communicate. It's really frustrating, so it was really refreshing to see that there was none of that in this book. These two characters, I believe that they would find each other in every life. And then as for the setting, super summery. I love the lake setting, and then the boat that they were on, as seen on the cover. Also the emotional topics that were talked about about, even for Charlie, because I know that there's another book, Every Summer After, that he was in, but he was a side character in that, and like I believe he did something bad in that one. And so seeing how he like developed, even though I haven't read that book, I can tell that he's like developed as a character, and I could appreciate that. Love, love, love this book. Then Daisy Jones and the Six. This was one of the most unique books that I read this year, and it was so good. The show is also really good. I didn't finish it, but like I think it's a really good book adaptation. Venturing back to the book, they have so much personality and there is a lot that's going on. If you didn't know, this book is about a band in the 70s, how they come to be like the really famous band that they are, and it's just such a good story. The writing style is really good. It's written in interview style, so like you see everyone's thoughts and opinions and just like everyone's very, very interesting monologues. Love the setting, and I love that the show is a thing because I can listen to the songs on Spotify. Then I'm counting these as one because they're part of the same series. Two of the Magnolia Parks books. The writing in these books, nothing I've ever seen before. The writing is so unique. This series is very addicting because like of the drama. I just said that I hate the miscommunication trope, but I will give a pass for this book because like this book does it really well. That's the whole point of this series, is the miscommunication trope, but the relationship between Magnolia and BJ is just very toxic. I try not to like romanticize the relationship. I just like stand by and watch. And then in this one, you see 3 point of views. You see Daisy's, Christian's, like 2 of them are kind of a thing. I don't know what's going on with them. And then there's Julian's point of view, which is Daisy's older brother, and he's got some issues too. And so this one is like a lot more action packed because there's weapons involved, there's fights, and it's just a really, really interesting series. I have the 3rd book, so I can't wait to read that this fall or winter. And then certainly deserves a trophy. Is there such thing as like awards for like books? If there was such a thing as that, this one would probably win one of them. Hunger Games is like one of my personalities. I live, breathe, eat Hunger Games. Maybe not that far, but I am a very, very huge fan of the Hunger Games. I haven't read any of their other books, so like I might be a little bit hypocritical, but I do have a first book, so I'm planning on reading that. But this is Haymitch's backstory and his part in the Hunger Games. Obviously, it's no secret, it's no spoiler that he wins, and so we just like see his process and what he sees during the games, what he goes through, what all of his other teammates and like friends and family goes through. We also see a bit of Snow in this. Now, last but certainly not least, the whole entire ACOTAR series. I read these 2 last year and then like these 3 this year. This was definitely my favorite series that I've read this year so far. I just think that because of this series, I am a fantasy girl now. Like I've read some fantasies before, but this one really got me into fantasy. What more do I need to say? I think I already said it before. Like the writing's good, the found family, the romance. Next question, most funny / enjoyable reads. I don't want to like keep picking the books off my shelf, so I'm just gonna talk about them. I do have them written down. People with Me on Vacation, Reckless, and The Hotel in Nantucket. People with Me on Vacation, the funniest book I've read this year. Poppy is just like, I love her. And then like also I love that she always gets Alex on board with her jokes as well. It's just really funny to see. Like I love their friendship. As much as I love their relationship, their friendship was just like really wholesome and goofy. And then Reckless, it is very similar to Tangled. I don't know if I'm crazy, but I'm pretty sure she took inspiration from Tangled because so many of the events that happen in that book were just like very similar to Tangled. Do love the journey that they were on. I love things like that. Like I love when characters go on a journey. I've always loved books and movies and just like that type of thing, like adventures, going on a big mission to find something. I just always loved those type of things, so that's why I really like the book. And then The Hotel Nantucket, I was kind of in shock when I first read it because like I didn't think I was gonna see all of these different point of views, because you do see everyone's point of view. Like even if it's just a little itty bitty tiny side character, you get their thoughts. I really like seeing that because it keeps you entertained. It's also just very summery. It felt like a ocean summer breeze. Saddest read this year so far. The Way I Used to Be and Saving Six. It's heartbreaking to see the female main character, I think her name is Eden. It's just like really sad to see Eden crumble and fall into her depression each and every year and each and every day. If you are planning on reading the book, please check the trigger warnings. And then Saving Six, the third book in the Binding 13 series. This is Joey's and Eva's point of views. He's kind of like the provider of the family because obviously his dad has a lot of issues. His dad is the issue, and then his mom is just like not okay. So he's literally the provider of the family. He's the one that has to take care of everyone. And then like seeing Eva trying to help him, and she's trying to do everything that she can, but she's also struggling with her things at home. Shortest read. Now this one I actually want to get to show you guys. My shortest read this year was Animal Farm. This is 97 pages long. I really enjoyed this book. It was just like straight to the point, short story that has a message. Very short because it's just like there for a message. Books that didn't meet your expectations but you still somewhat like. Assistant to the Villain. I didn't love this book, but I also didn't like dislike it. It was just an okay book. I know this is a duology, so the book doesn't end here. I might read the duology, I'm not sure. I don't know if I care. Did it give what I needed it to give? No, but like, was it still fun? Yes, it was fun. I just didn't really think that the male main character was villainy enough. This story is not that serious. Like, it's not a high fantasy, and I get that, so maybe that's all it is. I recommend it because I rated this at 3 stars, but just like for me personally, I didn't love it, but you might like it. It's a duology, so it's only 2 books. Moving on. My current favorite read, or is it One Golden Summer? I still think about this book every day since I've read it. It's my current favorite read because it's 6 stars, so obviously. Books for beginners. Rita McFadden is a perfect beginner author. They're not like super scary. They're very bingeable, easy reads. I would consider these palate cleansers. If your reading pace is a little slower, then you can still finish this in a short amount of time. They don't take too long to read. Her stories are good. My personal favorite would have to be The Housemaid, and then also Never Lie. And then I've read The Housemaid's Secret. This is the sequel to Housemaid. I enjoyed it. It was good. And then The Inmate. It's not my favorite. I recommend reading these first. And also I heard that Sea Ward is good. I haven't read it, but I heard that it's good and I really want to read it. And then I'm currently reading The Teacher. I still haven't finished this. Now, this is another mystery thriller and it's a pretty popular series. The Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy. Each and every single one of these books are amazing. This one was a 5-star, 4-star, 5-star. So they're all really good and they're easy to read. It's YA. There is a side plot of romance, but the romance that we do get is really good. We see that throughout this whole series. Good Girl's Guide to Murder is like a great first book for this trilogy. We get introduced to Pip's character. She is very like strong-willed. And then Good Girl Bad Blood is basically just the sequel. It's literally like a sequel. So there is another case that she goes on, but this time she has a podcast. And so everyone is watching her, like everyone's listening to her try and solve this case. So it is a little bit more dangerous. As Good as Dead. Love in Other Words. This book, I really want to reread it. I really want to reread it, but like I have so many other books to read, but I really want to reread it. It is a childhood friends to lovers trope. It does have like a summery forest vibe, but I think it also can be fall vibe. Each chapter is just a flashback from like childhood to their current adult years, and it's really good. The childhood chapters are my absolute favorite. There's just so much chemistry. Lynn Painter is also really good. She's the queen of YA romance. Nothing Like the Movies is my favorite, and then The Do-Over. Those are my 2 favorites. Sarah Adams, also a great author. I like her books because they do talk about the characters' struggles, but it's not super emotional, but like we still do get that slither of like character depth. Those are my beginner book recommendations, but honestly like all of the books that I've talked about, I think they're really good books. A lot of them can be read as a beginner. Your favorite book couple. Wes and Liz from Nothing Like the Movies, Poppy and Alex from People We Meet on Vacation, Win and Bo from Out on a Limb, and then Charlie and Alice from One Golden Summer. Wes and Liz is just the embodiment, the blueprint for a YA teenager romance. They're just really cute. I love their like friendship in the first book and just like how they became to be more than friends. It was really cute. Wes was really trying to help Liz with her like thing that she was doing in the first book. And then Poppy and Alex from People We Meet on Vacation, they're just really funny together. For me, it was a bit unpredictable. I didn't know how they were gonna figure things out, but they ended up figuring it out. So I was like, okay, I'm glad you guys figured it out. That's really good for you. I like you guys now. Yeah. Win and Bo from Out on a Limb. Now this one is, their relationship is so special to me. They help each other out so much. Bo is always there for Win. He didn't think, oh, just because like, we're not in a relationship, I'm not gonna help you out. Like, no, he helped her out and I love that. And just like their friendship that they had. And then Charlie and Alice, like think about a puzzle piece. They are like each other's puzzle piece. They just connect really well. The way that they communicate is so refreshing, but deep down they're really just the same person, different font. That's why their connection really works, because on the outside they may seem like two completely different people, but deep down they're literally just the same people. An author that surprised you, that would have to be Annabelle Monaghan. I read both of these books this summer and I loved them. Her books are very simple, but the writing, it's just the writing, the way that she writes and the way that she focuses a lot on her female main character. These books are very women's fiction and romance, so like don't expect like purely romance, because this does have a lot of focus on the female main characters. In this one, we follow the story of Nora. She has a script for a movie. Her script is actually about her real life relationship. She is getting divorced, and then comes along the male main character who is acting in the movie. Then the summer romance. This one is a little bit more in depth. She does have kids in these, by the way. I feel like I always have to add that in there in this one. It's sort of the same thing. She is getting divorced. She has her children. She's really just trying to like find her way through life. It's kind of like, what do I do? And that's kind of why I like this book, because I was like, hey, you're not alone, girl. She just really took me by surprise, because I wasn't expecting to love her as much as I did, or as much as I do. Present tense. Worst read this year so far: Unravel Me and By a Thread. Unravel Me, this is the second book in the Shatter Me series. I just don't know what to think about this series. I haven't read the novels. I know there was a novel in between the first and the second of this book, and I haven't read that. I didn't know there was a novel. It's just too YA for me. I don't know what it is about it. I think I blacked out while reading this. I could tell you like maybe a few things, but the plot line of this book, no, not really. I can't tell you that. And then By a Thread. The thing is, I enjoyed reading this, but I really thought about it and I was like, what makes a book a 3 stars for me? A 3 stars for me is a book I would recommend. Like, I didn't love it. It was like an okay book overall, a book that I can understand why other people like it, so that's why I would recommend it. I was just like frustrated for most of the book, and would I recommend it? Honestly, no. I was like, what is happening? Like, what is supposed to be happening? I was frustrated with the characters. The male main character was super whiny for his old age. Female main character was actually not bad, but she still annoyed me sometimes here and there. I did like the setting though, the New York fashion type of setting, and I like that. Of course, there were moments where the male main character did something that was really sweet, but for me it just didn't work out. That's simply that. Next question. This one is a really fun question. It says, a book you wish was a movie/show. This one I thought long and hard for, because we all know that book to show adaptation or book to movie adaptations don't always work, and I feel like the ones that genuinely do work have a really high budget. So I know not every company has that type of budget, so I'm thinking about like one that could work well, like the story could do well, and that's Daisy Darker. I chose this book because the whole entire time I was reading it, my thoughts were, wow, this author is such a good storyteller. I could definitely see this book as a movie. Like, when I was reading it, I felt like I was watching a movie. And yes, generally when I'm reading a book I can like see a movie, but sometimes I don't see that book being a movie. Like, I just see that book as a book, but I can like visually see what's happening. I just don't see as it being a movie. You know what I mean? And so Daisy Darker was one of those books where the storytelling was just really good and like just perfect for a movie setting. I just don't see them messing that up. Like, how can you possibly mess that book up? So if you don't know, Daisy Darker is where we follow the main character Daisy and her family. They go to her Nana's 80th birthday party, which is at their old house that they used to be in. A little later into the story, they go into the kitchen to find that someone is dead on the floor. Each and every hour someone dies and they're trying to figure out who's doing it, what is happening, but that's like not all the story is. We see Daisy Darker's backstory. Wait, Daisy Darker is not Daisy. Her name's Daisy, but Daisy, she was not well treated. The family is just a very dysfunctional family. Everyone has their issues. No one really gets along properly. Like, it's just a lot of stuff. We see like all of the things that they've done in the past and like all the things that they did to Daisy in the past, and we see things that Daisy saw going on in the family. So it's a very, very interesting book, and I just don't see them like messing that up. Maybe as a series, I think it would do really good as a series, because sometimes movies can feel rushed. It would be a good way to like build up suspense. And yeah, alrighty. We got 3 questions left. We're going strong. I've been yapping this whole entire time. Next question. A book you read in one sitting. Nora Goes Off Script and A Court of Silver Flames. A Court of Silver Flames, I actually read it in 2 sittings, but I don't think it's possible for me to read a book this big in one sitting. So reading it in 2 sittings is like reading it in one sitting, considering how many pages are in this book. I want to apply it to this question, and then in this, I read it so quickly. It's a very fast-paced book. Most relatable characters. I love this question. Okay, so Alice from One Golden Summer, Bailey from Betting on You, Haley from Daydream, and Nesta from A Court of Silver Flames. Alice is number 1. My number 1 character that I can relate to the most, because obviously I did my character analyzation on her and I did my deep dive on her character and her personality, and I found out she was like an INFP. I could already tell that like all the things that she was talking about in the book I could relate to and be like, we're in the same boat. The way that she's kind of an unpredictable character, because one day she can be shy and quiet, and then one day she can be like very organized, and then the next day she can be very doing some crazy stuff with Charlie. And then Bailey in, what's the call again? The book that I just showed you. She's like considered a control freak, and I could see myself in her in that way, like especially to my mom, because she's the one that knows me the most. I can be considered a control freak to her, and sometimes I even annoy her with that, and like I'm sorry. And then Haley in Daydream. She's introverted, she likes cute things. Sometimes she wasn't afraid to branch out because she was in the right circle. She was with the people she was comfortable with, so she wasn't afraid to be herself around the right people, and I could definitely relate to her in that type of way. The one that took me by surprise the most is Nesta. She's very stubborn. I love that we got her book because we saw the way her brain works and like what her mind tells her. I can relate to her with that factor. Stubborn part of her I can deeply relate to. Imagine your sister gets taken by like a wolf, and you just have to sit by in your house and just like watch time pass, and like it's just kind of crazy, and she's like sucked into this world she didn't even ask to be part of. Anyways, this is the last question. A book you were giggling and kicking your feet at. Beg, Borrow, Steal from Sarah Adams, Reckless, One Golden Summer, and Happy Place by Emily Henry. Beg, Borrow, or Steal is Sarah Adams' latest book. It's part of an interconnected series about the love lives of all the siblings. And in this one, it was really interesting to see because both of the love interests are very similar people. They're very competitive, like they're both teachers. I was just like giggling, kicking my feet because you guys know that you like each other, so shut up. Just be together. Like, you know you like each other. Yeah. And then in Reckless, there was a lot of banter. One Golden Summer, how many times do I have to mention this book? And then for Happy Place by Emily Henry. First, Emily Henry does a really good job with giving flashbacks. She does a good job with like not just telling you but showing you what happened. It helped me build a stronger connection to their relationship. This doesn't apply to the question, but the setting is really nice. And yeah, that was the last question. I'm sorry that I talk so much. Your ears are probably bleeding by now, but I had a fun time filming this. I had a fun time talking about books. I feel like a middle-aged mom right now. This is so funny. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.